your income stayed the same in 2025, you were unable to save in 2025, you were unable to invest, you can't really explain how you spent your money, your businesses, you didn't make any profit or little or no profit. It seems like you are financially confused, you're not sure exactly where you're heading financially, and everyone is talking about financial stability and financial freedom. It's not making any sense to you. I want to tell you that this particular issue or situation is not peculiar to only you. Most likely you feel like you've ended the year broke. You're not even sure of what you want to do or achieve for yourself financially in 2026. In fact, you have no clue where to start from. So if you're in this situation or you're experiencing this particular kind of feeling or emotions, then this video is for you. My name is Dr. Ish. I'm a former banker of over 2 decades and also a financial strategist. And I'll be sharing with you very simple money habits that you should start and implement in 2026. You may be doing some of them, you may not be doing all of them, but if you can just try to implement 7 of them, they are pretty easy and simple, then you are sure of gaining some level of financial freedom, stability, and structure for your finances, income, salaries, or whatever way you are earning in 2026. So sit tight, stay with me, and in case you are yet to like and subscribe, please don't forget to do so. We will be moving right in shortly. 7 habits, not just tips now, habits that you need to start immediately, and not just to start, consistently implement them will help you to be able to gain some financial clarity, structure, and of course, you will see your finances improve in little or no time. Now, the basics are just that once you know what these tips are, you need to follow them um diligently. Yes, that's the word, diligently, so that you can start seeing improvements, like I said, in little or no time. Now, these are things that I have personally practiced and they have revamped, improved, upgraded my finances. And these are laws and habits that cut across board. What I'm trying to say is that no matter your tribe, no matter your race, no matter your religion, no matter what part of the world you are in, these 7 habits will work for you. So if you're watching this channel from any part of the world, trust me, it's not peculiar to a certain set of people. It is, or these are proven strategies that can work, verifiable anyway, that can work for you to turn your finances around. So these 7 tips are not just theory, they're also practical things that I have also done and implemented in gaining financial stability. Now, the very first habit is to track your expenses without emotion, or track your monies, all your monies without emotion. What do I mean by that? First of all, you need to be able to know your account balances. If you have 5 accounts, 10 accounts, any account you have that is receiving income, receiving monies, whether these monies are gifts or salaries or profit, whatever it is that they are, you need to right now get to the bank or whichever way you have access to your account balances, write down the balances of each of those accounts. Get a statement of accounts for each of those accounts. What we're trying to achieve here is for you to be able to track what came in and what went out. I repeat, what came in and what went out. It's just like the saying goes, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So to start taking a grip, getting a good grip of your finances, you need to first of all track all the cobbles, the cents, the dollars, the pounds, whatever currency it is coming to you, and monitoring what goes out. Now, I know a lot of people are scared of doing this because it puts fear in so many people. They are scared, especially when they see the magnitude of how they have been spending. It usually reveals things to you. Either it shows you to be a very risky spender or a conservative spender, or someone that spends without thinking through, making wise decisions. Whichever way it is, you need to cut off the emotion, you need to face or grab the bull by the horns, and first of all, track everything that is coming to you. Take notes, track what is coming in, coming out, check all your balances. In fact, better still, get a statement of account printed so you can run through what you have done with your monies throughout the year. So what I usually advise is, because it's it will have accumulated over a long period of time, it may take a lot for you to check everything throughout the year. But I usually like this habit to make it easier for you in 2026. Start tracking weekly. Money's coming in, money's going out, basically to see your spending habits, right? This will help you to put you in check so that you can cut or stop negative patterns and improve positive patterns, right? So once a week is the habit you need to start implementing to keep a track on your finances. Now, the second habit is automate. You need to automate. Don't rely on your brain alone. Don't rely, because people forget, things happen, life happens, expenses just come up unexpectedly. So you need to automate your savings, automate your investments, automate as much as you can. So let's say you decide you want to start saving $20 every week or $20 every month, depends on how much income you get. So you now decide that you are going to put in systems that automatically, at a specific day and time of every month or every week, debit your account, a particular account kept aside, and then it's that specific amount is moved to another account for savings. So we'll still have other videos talking about what you should do with money saved and the best places for you to save those monies. I usually don't subscribe. You keep savings monies to save in the bank, just lying fallow doing nothing. They have to work for you. Money has to work for you. Money has to increase. Money has to multiply for you. It has to work for you, not you work for money. So automate your savings, automate your investment. So let's say your target is, and of course you need to have a target and goal for everything you want to do. So you could say, okay, at the end of the year I want to have $1,000 saved, and then you do your multiplication and division and decide. So you need to track what is coming in and out, as I said, very, very important. And then you need to automate your savings, automate your investments. Any financial plan you have, please get it automated immediately so that designated accounts will be credited for savings and designated investments will be taken care of, right? So this is also a very important habit you need to imbibe. Now, habit number 3 is don't allow yourself to be pressured financially. What I mean by that is you need to separate your money from your identity. So if you're broke, it doesn't mean your value, your financial value, is any less. Your value as a person does not reduce because you are broke. So you need to understand that your spending habits should not be emotional, they should be logical, in the sense that sometimes we make bad financial decisions, but the more informed you are about the decisions you are going to make, the better prepared you are. So if you're going to invest, maybe there's an investment someone comes up with, you need to find out, what are the regulatory bodies taking care of this investment? If my money goes in, how is my money going to come out of this investment? What I'm technically trying to tell you is, shift your identity from your finance. Because when you are planning for the year, you have to understand that in some cases, it's not throughout the year you are going to be financially rich, so to speak. There will always be down times. This happens even to the richest. They don't have monies flowing throughout the year. So you must prepare yourself mentally for this. Don't get caught up in risky investments. And what I mean by risky investments is investments that look too good to be true. Sometimes if it's too good to be true, it's actually too good to be true. So you need to also start running due diligence, not because a friend or family member says come and invest, then you are quick to invest. When it comes to investments, when it comes to savings, you need to run your checks, ask the right questions, and be patient. Don't be in a hurry because you hear, oh, people are making $1 million from this investment within 10 days or 7 days. You have to be strong enough to realize that there are so many scam investments out there. So you have to learn. The habit you have to learn is to separate your identity from finance. So don't collapse because you are broke, right? Because you may end up making wrong decisions during that period. So remember that you are planning ahead for a rainy day. Wealth takes time. Wealth takes time. So don't be in a hurry. You have to take it one step at a time. So what you need to understand here is separate your identity from your finance and don't run into risky investments. So you have to be able to determine what is risky for you. So what is risky for person A may not be risky for person B. So you have to understand what your threshold of tolerance for risky investments are. And like I always advise, start small. If you see that the returns are coming in well, then you can increase. But remember, regulatory bodies is the best way. If that investment doesn't have a regulatory body they report to, please run as fast as you can. You need to plan towards owning at least one asset. Remember that all these tips I'm giving you is to help you generate wealth for yourself. Now, when I mean wealth, it's not just to be rich, but to have means of sustainable and continuous income, right? So tip number 4 is to own one asset. One asset. It could be a digital asset, it could be a physical asset. So when I mean digital asset, it could be PDFs that you have. Maybe like you teach, you have some knowledge you can share, then you can create a PDF or some sort of video which is part of the digital asset that can continuously bring in income for you. So it's a matter of you deciding what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are you good at, and creating a digital asset. People love to learn, people love to be educated. Like basically what I'm doing on YouTube here is to teach you. So it is also a digital asset that continuously brings in monies for you or helps you towards monetization. So you can learn how to create digital assets, right? Or you could own physical assets like landed properties. You could buy yourself land. If you can't afford it, you can do your research on the kind of assets you can own based on your own financial capacity. So I'm not saying go buy yourself a $1 billion house. I mean, if you can afford that, that's fine. Okay, but you can start small. So there are different categories of digital assets. But the simple thing of what I'm saying is get to work towards owning one digital asset. Just little drops makes a mighty ocean. All right. So tip number 5 is to learn financial language, more or less like financial literacy. Ignorance is expensive. What do I mean? You need to learn financial language. So when discussions are being had, you can, because that's the only way you can empower yourself. I'm talking about simple basics like what is inflation, what is risk, what is returns, what are assets, what are liabilities, what is the difference between assets and liabilities. All right, those are just the basics you need to know. What is risk? What is physical assets? What is digital assets? All right, this financial language is very important. It's one of the things you need to know so that it can also help you make informed decisions when you are trying to upgrade yourself financially, right? So another thing or another tip that is very important you need to know is how to plan ahead. Now, when I mean plan ahead, it's not just to plan for tomorrow. Plan for next month. Plan for next year. Plan for 2 years. Plan for 5 years. This is what bankers always do. We always plan ahead. Reason being that if you plan ahead, you are able to also mitigate risk. You're also able to think of what are the risks to these things I'm doing, these things I am preparing for. It's like preparing for a rainy day. So planning financially is very important. For instance, you know you pay your rent once every year. You know you pay your bills every year. So if you automate your bills, it helps you to know what is left. If you have an idea itemizing every expenditure, things you spend, It will help you to plan better. With this planning, you'll be able to determine for yourself, now for yourself, what habits over time have helped you to grow financially and what habits over time have deteriorated your finances, because you just need to be honest, very, very honest with yourself, right? And with time, with planning, remember that a high level of consistency is also needed. Now, I'm not saying rush it, start small, but consistency is key if you truly intend to build wealth. This is my advice to you as a former banker and a financial strategist. Consistency is key. So you can't save in the month of January and stop saving February, March, April. This is why I say automate. So it takes that burden off you and it keeps you financially disciplined as well. So if you plan, you want to get yourself a car, or you want to get yourself a landed asset, or you want to invest maybe $1,000 before the end of 2026, you can now start saving towards it. So you need to also have a vision, like a vision board or an idea of how much you want to have by the end of the year. You may not meet that target, but trust me, with proper planning, consistency, and focus, you'll be able to achieve your financial goals. And then the final tip is protect your peace. You don't need to compete with anyone, right? You don't need to compete with everyone. Sometimes people don't tell you the full story. So if someone else is driving a Bugatti and you're not driving a Bugatti, please put your mind at rest. Don't rush it. It takes time. All you need to do is to identify those things that give you regular income. And of course, I'm a great supporter of multiple streams of income. I'm also a supporter of streams of incomes that don't necessarily need you to be physically present all the time or to monitor while protecting your peace. This is just to tell you to avoid financial anxiety. Take it one day at a time. If you're able in 6 months to save consistently a very tiny piece of your income, then that is a lot to be grateful for. All right. So you have to make sure you protect your peace financially. Now, I'm not encouraging you to be financially lazy. I'm just saying, first of all, itemize your goals, right? And then start working from tip 1 to 7 that I've shared on things you can do to help you gain that financial upgrade that you've been looking for. So that at the end of 2026, you're not feeling frustrated, you're not feeling angry. Okay, so if you have questions for me, please don't forget to drop in the comment section. If there's any aspect of finance or any aspect of what I have just spoken about you want me to really explain more on, I'll be willing to do that, of course. And I always respond to comments. If you have any questions, I will be ready and available to answer you. And if you're yet to like and subscribe to my channel, please do not forget to do so to encourage me so that I can still, the algorithm can also get this video to other people who also need to know more on how to plan their finances. Thank you very much for staying this far, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.